that she told me that there was not more money, that was all the money in the thing, in the closet, whatever, the safe. So was the because it was 40K, correct?
Yeah, no, there was never no safe. There was a safe that she had that was broken and the lock was locked. It wouldn't open. It was like it was a broken safe and she had it thrown in the garage. That was the only safe she ever owned. She's also exaggerating that. She always had her cash inside of a Louis Vuitton bag that Milton would always carry around, like for trips and stuff like that. Like it was always in that bag. It was never, and it was more than like I don't know how much it was. It was more than like 150,000. So it's the after, and that's like after the fact that I took the 40K. I counted it was like 150,000. So I don't know how much was like in the bag in total, but it was more than 40K. It wasn't, you know. And then after that, she went to go put it all into her bank.
Hold on, real quick. Beautifully Flawed said Ruby said it was 150K. Are y'all sure that Ruby said that? If somebody has that clip, send it to me. Because hold on, now I'm checking.
Yeah, I said that before.
That's what I'm saying. I thought you. Yeah, I knew you had said it, but in my, I don't know if I can go to it. Hold on.
But claims that it was in a safe. She claimed that it was 150K in a safe. It wasn't. There was never a safe. It was just a bag, and it wasn't hidden or like she wasn't telling me like how she's telling the story. Like, oh, I showed them the money just in case or the this and that. No, she was always like flaunting, counting it, having to, the dirty bills. She would go and have to no, it was always a process that I was even like I would see and I would like see them doing. It wasn't hidden. It wasn't, oh, like this is for just in case. Like, no, it wasn't like that.
So she never told you that it was like safe money, like just in case something happened to them or.
No, never like that. Those words never came out of her mouth. Oh, just in case anything ever happens to us. No, she was always greedy about her money. She always said, like, oh, like I don't have nobody on my will. Like nobody's gonna get.
Well, I will say when she messaged me, she said, "I know that none of the people, you and something like that, none of these people, you and your followers, whatever, something along those lines, have never seen money like that in your life." And I wanted to be like, "Well, no, I haven't. I really haven't."
But it's like.
I mean, that's a hell of a lot of money to not have in a safe place. Just to be clear, that's a lot of money to just.
Yeah, I think the reason why she wouldn't, she would like they would talk about that, like, oh, like why don't we put in like a bank vault? And they're like, yeah, well, Milton would be like, yeah, well, what happens if an earthquake happens and it like everything like falls and we need that money now? Like we can't go to the bank and take it out. We can't go to the bank vault and go get it out. Like we have to have it on. They wanted it on them now. They wanted, in their possession and under their supervision.
Yeah, I mean, so you admit, have you told your grandma now that you stole the money?
Yeah, she knows that. My grandma knows the truth. There's no point in continue to lie. The reason why I lied is because I was trying to save myself from Ruby and protect myself from. Now that's why I'm just speaking my truth, because it's like it feels like a weight like lifted off my chest, just being able to tell you guys like what happened and just so it's everybody knows the truth.
Yeah. So hold on, let me go back over here. Look at my questions. I'm going back and forth between Instagram and everything. So you told me why y'all shared a hotel room. Do you want to tell them why y'all had to share a hotel room? And also, my question is, so did Cecily and Elena have like a home?
They were living with their friends that they rented out a room. They rented out 2 rooms too, so they were living with them.
Okay. So, because that was my question. So, y'all didn't go back to their house. It's not like they picked you up and went back there. Y'all were on the run.
Yeah, I didn't want to be found. I knew that, like, I was thinking of everything. Like, I'm an overthinker. I was thinking, okay, like, I'll use this money to, the reason why there was so much money gone is because, like, the hotels were expensive. And then also that one hotel that they caught us at, we paid $1,000, and for like a down payment or something, like a down payment, and then plus the first month's rent. Like it was like one of those hotels that you live in, like a permanent,
Yeah.
not a permanent, but it's one of those like one like little small with the room, and it's so that's where we were found. That's
Yeah.
what that was a hotel.
Someone said, "Can he tell us why Ruby has hotel security following them for protection when she goes to Vegas?"
No, I don't know anything about that.
Well, um, let's see. So, and you told me that that it was just you and that she stayed, that the mom stayed there basically because y'all were two minors and she didn't want y'all doing activities, pretty much.
Yeah, she wanted to protect us from doing the deed, and it's like um it was either that. She was like, either I could just it could be like, well, I could stay there with you guys, or she was like, I could be on the phone 24/7 and making sure you guys don't do nothing. Like,
Yeah.
and I was like, no, it's fine. Like, I wasn't thinking like that. I didn't run away for that. I was literally just trying. I was like, yeah, like who's not gonna do something at 16? And yeah, there might be stuff on my neck, but it wasn't like that. Like, it was more of like I ran away just for protection, like, and just to escape that like household, like, yeah.
So was the plan for y'all to all three be in hiding till you were 18?
And no, the plan was for like eventually just we live there, or me and Cece, we lived it, or live in a hotel, or like like rent out a room or something like that. But for the time being, since her mom had a car, that was our
So
way.
she
of
was
getting...
just the getaway car.
Yeah, basically, Cece does not know how to drive till this day. So it's like,
well, Cece, we gotta get you a license, girl, driving.
That's why I needed her mom majorly, because who else is gonna? And I know I like regret it, because damn, those like the charges of crossing state lines. I never knew about that. I never knew about the charges of. I didn't think it was gonna. I didn't think it was gonna happen like that, and I didn't know that was the. I was young, thinking clearly, like from like I didn't know the law like that.
Yeah.
So for.
And you say that because Ruby says that y'all went to Arizona, and that has the Romeo and Juliet law, which
no, that's not true. Cece and Elena, they lived in Arizona a year. They moved to Arizona a year prior of everything, and they have proof of that too. Like it's they lived in Casa Grande for a whole year before this even happened. So it's not like we left to Arizona to avoid the Romeo and Juliet. Like, no, we didn't even know that happened. We didn't think that our age gap was a lot or wrong. I wasn't thinking like that.
Yeah.
Like, it was. She was at the time, she was 18. I was 16. I was like, so. But I didn't know nothing about the Romeo and Juliet law. Ruby is just really mad because that's what the police told her. Like, and that's she couldn't do nothing about it. She wanted to do press charges, but she couldn't do nothing about it. She was just happy with getting her money back, and she that was that.
Okay, I'm going to read this to the chat real quick. In Arizona, the Romeo and Juliet law, also known as the close-in age exemption, is a defense to a prosecution for sexual conduct with a minor. It allows for consensual activity between individuals if certain conditions are met. The victim is 15, 16, or 17. The defendant is under 19 or still attending high school, and the age difference between the two is no more than 2 years. So that means she had to be 2 years, only 2 years separate. I mean, that says that right there. I just realized that. Okay, well, there's that. Because she said a few times in her thing that it was y'all were 16 and 19.
Yeah, she put up Elena's age. She says, oh, she was 36. Oh, she was 35. Oh, she's like 30. Like, he mixes up a lot of her lies. And I feel like it's the rugs. It's the, I ain't going into that, but she's lost.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see they're saying that in the chat too. And they said that the police report said 19. I have that. So look, if you are I'm going to say this because I don't want anyone crazy coming into my Discord. There is a link and you can join, but it is a verified Discord, so you got to go through some processes to get there. If Alan's okay with me posting, are you okay with me posting the evidence that you've sent me in there?
Yeah, that's
And I'll cross
fine.
out. I'll make sure I go through things to like I have people that'll cross out everything that is anything identifying to you or anything like that. Okay, so y'all can't be like harassed. But
Hmm.
any of your evidence that you have, I'll put in a special thing in my Discord, and people can join. And if they want to view it, they have that opportunity.
Okay, yeah, please do.
Okay, so